It's November 23rd, 2000, and almost 78,000 fans head to the Pontiac Silverdome to watch the 3-8 Patriots take on the 7-4 Lions. Detroit, coming off a 7-9 season with a playoff berth, had high hopes, and those high hopes seemed warranted starting 5-2. Then they lost to the Colts, and the following week they lost to the Dolphins. But it wasn't the end of the world. They were still 5-4 and second in the NFC Central. All was fine up until head coach Bobby Ross decided that he had enough and quit just 9 games into the season. The man taking over for Ross was former Michigan coach Gary Muller, and things seemed to be getting back on track after winning the first 2 games in the Muller era. The Patriots, while not necessarily showing it on paper, weren't doing too bad either. Well, they kinda were, but after firing head coach Pete Carroll the previous year, new coach Bill Belichick would start 0-4 with each loss being just one-score games that came down to the wire. Then they'd win 2 straight, followed by 2 more one-score losses and a Week 12 win over Cincinnati. Although they were 3-8 heading into the game, the team showed a lot of promise, and with a new coach and a Pro Bowl quarterback, there was a lot to look forward to in New England.
And we're underway.
The Lions would win the coin toss and elect to receive, and on the first play of the game, Batch would connect with tight end David Sloan for a 59-yard gain, just getting caught by Ty Law inside the 15-yard line. Then on 3rd and 9, Batch would almost fumble the snap, but manages to pick the ball up and take a shot at the end zone, although nearly throwing a pick in the process. The Lions would settle for 3 points. In comes Drew Bledsoe and the Patriots from their own 16-yard line. And on their first play of the game, they take a shot, which ends up incomplete. On 3rd and 6, Bledsoe decides to run it himself for the first down. 2 plays later, he'd make a great throw, and along with an unnecessary roughness penalty, would get them into Lions territory. First down, they would run a screen play that would get blown up by Alan Aldridge. 2nd and 15, Terry Glenn would make a great grab to put them at the Lions' 16-yard line. Then a quick slant, setting them up inside the 5. First and goal is a run play which just barely gets stopped at the 1-yard line. Then the next play, Tony Carter would again fail to score. 3rd and goal, and Bledsoe would attempt to pass. No one is open, so he tries to scramble for it, but gets stopped just a yard shy. Now 4th and goal, the Pats would line up to go for it, but wouldn't get the snap off. So the Patriots would also settle for 3 points. Detroit's first 3 plays wouldn't amount to much, but they would get bailed out by a face mask call on a 3rd down sack. And with a fresh set of downs, the Lions would elect to do some trickery, resulting in James Stewart nearly turning the ball over, but luckily a line would fall on it. Ultimately, it wouldn't matter because on 3rd down, New England would blitz and Batch would fumble the ball. First down with great field position for New England, Bledsoe would drop back and get absolutely crushed. 2 plays later, Detroit would get another good hit on him and force a field goal. Kick returner Desmond Howard would set the Lions up with great field position, getting to about the 45-yard line. First play would go backwards, but on 2nd and 12, Batch would step up and throw a nice pass to Herman Moore for 20 yards, ending the first quarter. The Lions would open up the second quarter with a 6-yard pass to Johnny Morton, followed by a 2-yard run by Stewart, setting up 3rd and short, where Batch would make a great throw with a defender in his face for the first down. Sitting at the 23-yard line, the Lions would take a shot, and Moore would almost come down with it. The drive would stall there, and they would trot out Jason Hanson for another field goal. Both teams' rushing woes would continue with 2 straight 0-yard gains, followed by an overthrown ball by Bledsoe. The Lions would force a 3-and-out, with the Pats failing to gain a yard this drive. But the Lions would answer New England's terrible drive by going 3-and-out themselves. Lions fans rained down boos as they punted it right back to the Patriots.
Now, the first boos of the day.
New England would manage to get not 1, but 2 first downs here thanks to some decent runs by J.R. Redmond, amounting to a 3rd and 2 where Bledsoe nearly gets picked off. New England would punt the ball once again. The Lions get the ball with 5 minutes left and went ahead into halftime with a few more points on the board. With the first play, Batch overthrows a deep shot to Morton, but completes his next pass for 9 yards. And James Stewart finally gets going and breaks off a 10-yard run on 3rd down. 2 plays later and another first down, this time to David Sloan. That would be about it, as the Lions would fail to convert their next third down and punt the ball back to New England with just a minute left. Nothing really notable happens for the rest of the half. Bledsoe would get sacked on third down and the Patriots would punt it back to Detroit, and Detroit would just run out the clock. Following a halftime performance from boys to men, both teams come out of the break eager to actually score a touchdown, or do literally anything offensively. And since Detroit got the ball to start the game, New England would get first crack at it. First play is a long pass attempt broken up by Terry Fair. Second down would be an 8-yard screen, followed by another screen for 13 yards. 2 plays later, a 15-yard pass to Tony Carter, and then defensive pass interference to put New England at the Lions' 35-yard line. But Detroit managed to stop the bleeding, stuffing Carter on a 3rd and 1, resulting in another field goal. Desmond Howard would once again help out with a great return, this one for 40 yards. And along with an unnecessary roughness call, Detroit would get the ball on New England's 46. The Lions' first play of the second half would be a 23-yard completion to Morton over the middle to get them inside the 25. Morton would again be the recipient of a 13-yard catch just 3 plays later, placing them at the 6-yard line. On 1st and goal, Detroit would try a run up the middle for no gain, and then get an offsides penalty the next play. Then a 3-yard run, followed by more boos from Lions fans.
Here come the boos again.
Charlie Batch would get buried the next play, but defensive end Greg Spires jumped off sides, giving the Lions another opportunity. On 3rd and goal, Batch would scramble to about the 1-yard line. Detroit would elect to go for it on 4th, and Batch would manage to find David Sloan for the 1-yard touchdown, completely breaking Charlie Batch in the process. The Patriots need to respond, but their offensive struggles continue. They go 3 and out and punt it right back to Detroit. Out trots a hobbled Batch, who completes his first pass of the drive for 7 yards. Then Stewart is able to find a hole for a 9-yard gain. 1st and 10 now, and Herman Moore would come up with a great catch to close out the 3rd quarter. The Lions are rolling at this point and open up the half with another solid run by Stewart. New England's defense is struggling right now, and their only hope is to crush Charlie Batch once again. Roughing the passer is called, and in comes backup QB Stoney Case. He comes in and throws a 10-yard screen to Herman Moore. 2 plays later, the once dead Charlie Batch would re-enter the game to loud cheers from Lions fans. And the injured QB rifled in an 18-yard pass to Cedric Irvin, who comes up just a yard shy of the goal line. Detroit would try a QB sneak for some reason, but the next play, James Stewart would decide to take it over the top for the touchdown. Now down by 2 scores, the Patriots need to put together a scoring drive. The first play would be a 6-yard completion to Troy Brown. The next play would be another pass to Brown, although this one would be intercepted, and almost fumbled, but intercepted. A short field for Detroit. They would try 2 straight run plays that wouldn't amount to much, but on 3rd and 5, Charlie Batch would take it in himself for the touchdown, getting blasted once again in the process. Down by a lot now, with time winding down, New England had to air it out. 18 yards to Terry Glenn, a pass interference, and a roughing the passer later, they were already at Detroit's 38-yard line. A few more short passes and scrambles later would lead to a 3rd and 6, where Bledsoe would take a shot at the end zone. A tragic mistake that would put the final nail in the coffin. Bryant Westbrook would take it 101 yards the other way for yet another Detroit touchdown. No use keeping the face of the franchise out there any longer in a blowout, so coming in was rookie backup Tom Brady. Brady had yet to attempt a pass this year. In fact, this is the first time he's seen playing time. And on his first pass, he would hit his running back in the head. And on his next attempt, he would almost throw a pick 6 to who else but Bryant Westbrook, just barely slipping out of his hands. On 3rd down, the rookie quarterback would get his first NFL completion, or so everyone thought, because it would be coming back due to an ineligible man downfield. But on the next play, he'd finally get that first completion to Rod Rutledge, about 5 yards short of the marker, but a completion nonetheless, and they'd punt it. For the final drive of the game, the Patriots tried to pull a fast one on Desmond Howard that didn't work. In comes Stoney Case to finish out the game. Cedric Irvin would be the one to run the clock out, and after a 32-yard run and 2 kneel downs, the game was officially over. All thanks to a gritty performance from Charlie Batch, Detroit would move to 8-4 and enjoy some victory turkey. The Lions had a bright future ahead indeed.
Baking with Charlie Batch. 1998 and 99, he was producing some pretty nice cookies, wouldn't you say?
Yes, they were nice.